During the week one implementation, I built the data team. There were four teachers that agreed to be part of the research. There was also one administrator that agreed to participate. His role was to oversee the work. So the next step was for each data team member to identify a participant course for the surveys and possible discussions. At the end of that first week, the data team and administrator got together to discuss grading philosophy and Carol Dweck's growth mindset. In the first discussion, members talked about how hard work leads to success in the classroom. Granted, some, not all students, don't need to work hard to perform well. There's a big theme in the discussion that a grade should represent student mastery. However, the team was split on that hard work being a part of the grade. Some felt that effort can inflate grades, thus, the grade is not an accurate representation of student knowledge in that case. The findings in the first week brought the clear understanding from the data team that a grade should represent student content mastery and level of knowledge. Also, there were two big takeaways. In the views of the team, hard work leads to deeper levels of understanding by students, but there are some students with innate ability to perform at high levels. Following the week one implementation, students then became involved in the week two and three implementations. Each team member gave a presentation to their students on grading philosophy and the initial elements of the growth mindset. The students received a survey following the class meeting after the presentation. Some members were personally inclined to involve a few more of their classes, so there were a total of 200 responses. It was interesting to see that 75% of the students felt their efforts should be considered in the grade. Another 75% thought that their grade should represent content mastery. Lastly, 80% of students agreed that hard work can lead to a better understanding of content. We came together at the end of the week to discuss the implementations from the week and the survey results. The team was surprised to see that students believed that effort should be a part of the grade, but at the same time felt that the grade should represent strictly mastery of content. The big takeaways from week two and three were in the comments left by the students. There were a large amount of students that talked about the subjectivity of their grade in the open response. These students felt that some teachers' standards are disconnected from actual content standards. The lasting response that stuck with me and the team, though, was that some students responded that the only thing that matters is the grade, and that's what they need to go to college. Nothing else matters in that case. The knowledge doesn't need to be there, it's just that grade. Further findings from week two and three implementations were that students felt that efforts should be accounted for in the grade, but that there was a contradicting belief viewing that the grade should represent mastery. From this, the data team agreed that effort can play a role in the grade but should not carry much weight. Again, the last week was dense. Each day there was some type of implementation. Start of the week involved another presentation in class and data team members about grading and further discussion on Carol Dweck's growth mindset. During the next class meeting, another survey was given to the students. Here, only 60 responses were collected. I actually aligned the questions or realigned the questions to gain a little further student information on student perception of content mastery and motivation. From the surveys, 80% of the students agreed that having a growth mindset can lead to higher levels of content understanding. However, 90% of the data set equally between agree and disagree regarding their grade being an accurate representation of knowledge. This split demonstrated there's a disparity in views among students as regard to the grades they're given. To close the survey, 60% of the students agreed that all students can achieve success with hard work. We had a brief team discussion at the end of the week. Since the interviews would take place in the following days, members spent a lot of time talking about disparaging views by students, where they were split in identifying that the grade was an accurate representation of their content knowledge. The team also talked about student perceptions of grades and the idea that some students work the system for grades. There, it's not about knowledge, it's about working the system. Final implementation in the final week involved the interviews. Each team member had a 7 to 15-minute interview. The administrator was a part of his own interview as well.